Greetings everyone, and thanks for tuning in for this paranormal pit stop. Tonight, we'll be adventuring through an aged and infamous palace complex turned museum held off Jingshan Front Road in the Dongcheng District at the center of the Imperial District in Beijing, China, that boasts breathtaking gardens and temples that include and comprise the 54-acre Zhongshan Park, the sacrificial Imperial Ancestral Temple, the 171-acre Baihai Park, the 57-acre Jingshan Park, and, according to ancient legends, a number of restless spirits. Are you ready to brave the hauntings and history of the Forbidden City? Historically, in 1406, through the reign of the Yongle Emperor in the Ming Dynasty, the country's capital was moved from Nanjing to Beijing, with construction started on what would one day become the Forbidden City, a project that would last an astounding 14 years, and that would require more than 1 million laborers leading up to its completion in 1420. The Forbidden City would act as the seat of the Ming Dynasty from the time of its completion until April of 1644, when rebel forces led by Li Zicheng would take it by force, after which Zicheng would proclaim himself emperor of the Shun Dynasty. However, he would flee the site just before the combined armies of Ming General Wu Sengyi and Manchu forces encroached, setting fire to parts of the city in the process. By October of 1644, the Manchu had achieved supremacy in northern China, with the Shunzi Emperor declared ruler of all of China under the Qing Dynasty, after which king rulers would alter the names of several main buildings through the city, giving them titles that put emphasis on love and harmony instead of supremacy, while also adding in nameplates translated between Chinese and Manchu, and introducing a shamanist element to the palace. Through the Second Opium War in 1860, the Forbidden City would be taken over by Anglo-French forces, and later, in 1900, Empress Dowager Cixi would flee the palace during the Boxer Rebellion, leaving it to forces of treaty powers until the following year. After hosting no less than 24 emperors, 14 of which ruled through the Ming Dynasty and 10 through the Qing, the Forbidden City ceased to act as a center for politics in 1912, preceding the abdication of Puyi, the last emperor of China. Puyi would remain in the inner court until an eviction via coup in 1924, while the outer court was opened up to the public. In 1925, the Palace Museum was established. In 1933, the Japanese invasion of China would result in a forced evacuation of all national treasures on site, and following World War II, a portion of this collection was returned, while the remaining portion was evacuated to Taiwan in 1848. After the 1949 establishment of the People's Republic of China, the Forbidden City would be subjected to damages. However, the entirety of its grounds would be declared a World Heritage Site in 1987, and under continued administration provided by the Palace Museum, as well as funding of a 16-year restoration project, all buildings in the locale were fully returned to their pre-1912 states. The Forbidden City remains open to this day, offering 980 surviving buildings, over 1.8 million pieces of art, accommodating around 17 million annual visitors, which actually makes it the most visited museum on Earth, and, according to a mountain of ghost stories, harbors countless paranormal infestations. Hauntings on site are rumored to stem from centuries of executions, assassinations, and outright murders pertaining to concubines, servants, guards, and their disobedience or even disdain of each other. And when asked about the locale's strangely high steps, most tour guides claim they're to keep the ghosts trapped within, so they can't go wandering the land and disturb others. The palace is rarely opened at night and usually only for special occasions, and many reports of extreme activity have persisted among night guards and officials, with some even claiming that's why they keep it closed in the first place. Across the Forbidden City's grounds and throughout its many structures, visitors and officials have described orbs, mists, and strange forms in the backgrounds of photography, the sounds of phantom animals scurrying about, and ancient flute music heard drifting from the palace wall. A spectral woman in white has been encountered sobbing and strolling the grounds, and while some have told of her vanishing when approached, others have mentioned terrifying encounters in which she's actually chased them while emitting an otherworldly shriek. Also reported from the site's many buildings are disembodied footsteps from clearly empty rooms, doors that open and close on their own, the sounds of crying and of hushed voices from concubines' quarters, and run-ins with full-bodied entities spanning the eras, some of which they're either headless or sporting gruesome wounds. Conversely to our woman in white, the apparition of a lady in black has also been described. This specter has been known to turn to those who approach her as if to speak or tell them something important, only to reveal that she has no face, save black, stringy hair over a featureless cranium. Lastly, a large number of visitors, even skeptics, have reported a strange, nervous energy or feeling of anxiety near the palace, accompanied by the sensations of being closely watched, followed, or even touched by someone or something unseen. And ghostly dogs have been sighted running through its halls, and have even charged or pounced at some, before disappearing right at the moment of would-be impact. Thanks for joining us on this paranormal pit stop. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Sweet dreams.